Welcome, everyone, to What to Watch Live, the show where we discuss the best in TV and entertainment this week. My name is David, and today I am joined by my fellow Xfinity editors, Nicole and Kayla. Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Thank you for being here today on this beautiful, beautiful day.
Of course. Where else would I be?
I don't know. Where else would you want to be than right here with us?
Exactly.
And thank you to everyone else out there. Where else would you want to be than being here watching us right now? Across Xfinity platforms, or maybe you're watching us 24/7 on the What to Watch channel on Xumo Play. We appreciate it. We've got a great show for you. And on that show, Nicole gives us a Too Fast, Too Furious franchise recap. Kayla will tell us about the shows you can enjoy for free this week with Apple TV+. We'll reveal the 3 TV premieres we're most excited about this week. I will sit down for a chat with the stars of HBO Max's award-winning drama Succession, and we'll reveal our fantasy expansion teams for the WNBA. So let's get things started with planes, trains, automobiles, and family in the latest edition of What to Watch This Week. The Fast and Furious franchise returns to theaters this Friday, May 19th, with an all-new sequel entitled Fast X, starring returning cast members Vin Diesel, Michelle Rodriguez, Tyrese Gibson, Jordana Brewster, and Ludacris, as well as newcomers Jason Momoa and Brie Larson for some reason. Let's take a look at the trailer.
Let's ride, let's ride, let's ride, let's ride.
He's coming for you with everything.
What's the plan, Dom?
I'm not sure anymore.
One of us might not come back from this. But we have to fight.
If you are like me and have absolutely no recollection of what happened in the previous 9 Fast and Furious films, you're in luck, because our very own movies editor, Nicole, is here to give us a Fast and Furious 60-second recap of all 9 movies to get you ready for this Friday's Fast X premiere. Nicole, take it away.
All right, I'm going to go fast. Previously on The Fast and the Furious, number 1, illegal street racing. An undercover cop, a.k.a. Brian, makes new friends. Too Fast, Too Furious. Brian races to bring down a new villain, an old friend, Tyrese, a.k.a. Roman. The Fast and the Furious, Tokyo Drift. Slight detour to Japan, and none of the leads were in 1 or 2, but that doesn't matter here. Fast and Furious. Brian and Dom take down a drug lord for Letty's murder. Fast 5, not Furious anymore, back to basics. Brian and Dom are chased by The Rock, a.k.a. Hobbs. Fast and Furious 6, Letty's alive, guys. Furious 7, Furious again as the gang battles Jason Statham, a.k.a. Shaw. Spoiler alert, Brian drives off into the sunset. 8, Fate of the Furious. Dom must turn his back on family for his illegitimate son. Who knew? All right, Hobbs and Shaw jump through the multiverse for a battle between The Rock and Jason Statham. Idris Elba gets his hands on some super soldier serum. F9, Retirement, not while John Cena's around. Also, Ludacris and Tyrese go to space. Same movie. And then here we are, Fast X, The Last Ride. Or is it?
Or is it? Question mark. So I didn't realize you were going to do Hobbs and Shaw. So technically, that's 10 movies, right?
You know, I consulted with my Fast and Furious fans, and I think it's a part of the franchise that needs to be represented. So.
It's a good point. And that was The Rock's was that The Rock's swan song from the series, or did he come back after that? No, he did.
I think he did.
I can't remember where the Vin Diesel feud fell in the lineage of this franchise.
Somewhere between 8 and
right.
Because, no spoilers, but I think Jason Statham makes an appearance in the most recent one as well. So he's back too.
He does. Everybody. What is the budget for paying all of these stars? Because I think Charlize is in it as well.
Yeah.
Like, she's not just working for peanuts at this point.
There's Oscar-winning actors in this franchise, Is it volunteer based? I don't know.
Is it? They're all just doing it just for
Everyone's
funsies.
just clamoring to.
So
right.
Speaking of Fast and Furious, I thought it would be a fun idea to talk about some fan theories. So my favorite one, first one, the Fast and the Furious, the first of the franchise. There was a horrible accident, and now Dom is in a coma. And that's a good way to theorize like why they can do all these death-defying jumps, why the action is so intense all the time. He's dreaming it. He's grieving in his own way. He's living his best life. So I think that would be
That's interesting.
fantastic turn of events for the Fast X.
That's why
I
he
would
cares
hate
about.
that.
That's why he cares about family. That's why he cares about family so much. He's just laying in his coma thinking about family.
One last ride for
Yeah,
family.
one last ride.
Yeah. Another one I was talking about.
I would
was-
hate that. I hope that's not true.
Yeah, I could imagine. But yeah, Fast 5 is kind of where things kind of go sideways. They become action heroes. They're no longer racers. They're just action stars. So I feel like they're now in an alternate universe, multiverse, if you will, where they just can't get hurt. There's got to be reasoning for this because they're untouchable in this franchise.
They really are.
They live in the John Wick universe where you can be shot 100 times and still survive.
Untouchable, like flipping cars, getting in explosions, possible drowning, all this stuff.
Yeah.
And last but not least, Fast 10. Obviously, I have not seen it yet, but I will because I'm really hoping for time travel. I mean, how else do they surpass the franchise? They're going to go back in time and they're going to flip it and they're going to reverse the whole franchise, I think. It's going to be Furious and Fast, probably.
I want them to go back and now they have to race in like Model Ts and they have to crank it on the front to get it started first.
Yeah.
Or like a
run into
Wild
the-
West.
Yeah,
like a Wild West Fast and
Ooh.
Furious where they're
Mm.
tricked out horses.
Wild West. All right.
Wait, Nicole, don't
Gabe's just ready.
yeah. Didn't you have some ideas for future sequel
Yes.
names?
So I have some ideas for the 11th movie. Obviously, it has not been announced yet. My favorite is L Even Faster.
I'll even faster.
L Even Faster. Fast Past 11. And I mentioned it previously, but Furious and Fast.
Just switch it up
I can't believe they haven't done that already.
because no one would be able to find it. They'd be saying, Fast and Furious to their voice remote, and it wouldn't be popping up. That's why.
Yeah.
Did you mean
Right.
Furious and
You know,
Fast?
Well, you can catch up on everything right now on the Fast and Furious franchise by saying Fast and Furious or Fast and the Furious or some combination of those into your voice remote. And Fast X opens in theaters this Friday, May 19th. So go check it out. Next up, an apple a day keeps the boredom away in a segment called Free This Week. Xfinity's Free This Week program continues with full season free samples of several hit Apple TV Plus series available today through May 21st. And here to tell us more about it is our very own Kayla. Kayla, give us all the details.
I have all the details for you. Okay. If you have not heard, these series are absolute bliss. Okay. So, first up, Prehistoric Planet. Experience our world like never before with this epic docu-series that takes you back 66 million years because you just have to travel back to see what dinosaurs are like and what every other creature who roamed the earth and the seas and the skies were like. So if you're interested and you are a nerd and maybe you're curious about what our planet used to look like, this show is for you. Also, Foundation is a drama that chronicles humans who are scattered across different planets of the galaxy, and it's about their journey to save humanity. Very important work there. Then we have Loot. It's a lighter fare. It's a comedy. We all love Maya Rudolph. She's starring as a woman who's trying to figure out what to do with her $87 billion settlement that she got out of her divorce. Talk about first world problems. That is That is a problem I wish I had. Actually, you know what? Maybe more money, more problems. I'm going to say that for myself. All right. So I'm not jealous. I'm not jealous at all. So she's trying to figure out what to do with that big old settlement. And it's just a hilarious series. And then we have Swagger, which is a sports drama about the world of competitive youth basketball and what it takes to make it to the top with the corruption and the drama and the family. See how I fit that in there? Family. It's all about family. So you can watch season 1 of all of these great shows for free on Apple TV Plus.
As a fan of the Planet Earth docuseries on BBC America, I really loved Prehistoric Planet because it's from the same producers and feels like a nature docuseries that is like showing you dinosaurs. They use technology to recreate them, and
it looks so real.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's got David Attenborough who's doing narration, and what a beautiful, silky voiced British man he is. Love that. So thank you for all of that, Kayla. As a reminder, Xfinity's Free This Week program offers a new selection of free content from streaming services and premium networks every week of the year with no strings attached. Just say free or free this week into your voice remote to check it out. Next up, you've got a date with your channel guide in the latest edition of Appointment TV. Every week, the Xfinity editors pick the TV show or movie premiere they are most excited about right now, and this week we will kick things off with Kayla. What are you looking forward to?
I am most looking forward to a movie called 1001, starring Tiana Taylor. I like to say she's my cousin because that's my maiden name. So my cousin is starring in 1001. It is about a relentless mother who kidnaps her son from the foster care system and tries to find them a sense of community in the concrete jungle of New York City. Let's take a look.
Daryl's a very bright kid. Have you thought about MIT, Harvard?
Something's gonna happen. I can feel it.
Is your mother home?
Maybe it's time to give him some of the answers that he's been looking for.
Is Daryl your real name? Have you told anyone else about this?
Mom, I'm scared.
When are you going to realize that you are enough?
I go to war for you, you know that? Against anybody. Against this whole city. But they're not breaking us up this time.
Any movie about, like, when I see, like, Halle Berry fighting for her kids in the role she plays, and, like, J-Lo has one coming out, like, I think this is a theme with me. Like, and now I'm a mom, so now, I would kidnap you too. Like, let's go. It's just me and you against the world.
It's family.
It's a family. Yeah.
Yes, family. It's all about family.
This was great.
Check it out.
Nicole, what are you looking forward to?
All right. I am definitely excited about Polite Society. It will be available to rent or own, but definitely a great movie. Let's check out the trailer.
My sister Lena is the only person who believes in me.
Want to help me with a vid for my channel?
She helps me with all my training.
You are going to be such a great stunt woman.
That was dope though. But lately, she's been seeing this guy, who I think is a bit of a smarmy wanker. Lena, it's a trap.
Oh my God, Rhea, chill out.
Now, I'm not being dramatic, but these people are evil.
I found something.
I've got my eye on you.
They are not taking her away without a fight.
So you can tell from the trailer, it's definitely got some action comedy vibes. And I was able to see it early. I loved it. It's a great tale about sisterhood, about their bond. And obviously I won't give away any spoilers, but it starts off as this dramatic, coming of age tale. The younger sister is kind of learning a lot of life lessons, dealing with her adolescence. And then it just kind of takes a turn, and now it's like a sci-fi movie, sci-fi action. Really kept me engaged. Gave me some Kill Bill vibes, but less gory, less raunchy. Definitely worth seeing. I think it's a great film, and I think it clocks under 2 hours, so that it's like a good fast movie to watch.
And it's about family.
It's about family.
We love a movie under 2 hours too.
Yes, I know that's a selling point for most people. So
yeah. And just as a point of clarity, Kayla's movie 1001 is on Peacock, but not tomorrow. It's May 19th, because tomorrow is not May 19th. It's Friday, May 19th. So making sure you put out there. And you can rent, you can rent or own Polite Society right now. And I am so excited to talk about the show that I've picked for this week. It is the all-new Peacock sci-fi series, Mrs. Davis, which is airing now and drops its season finale this Thursday, May 18th. Let's take a quick look at the trailer.
Must locate the Holy Grail. So what now?
Mrs. Davis is all-knowing and all-powerful. She not only knows you're coming for her, but she wants you to.
Then I better get going.
Wiley?
What is that on your face?
What, my stash? A lot's changed since I last saw you. Meet the resistance.
What are you resisting?
Same thing you are. The algorithm.
Mrs. Davis?
Don't give it a 9! No one calls Facebook dog.
No one calls Facebook dog. This show is crazy. I mean, it's very, very good, and it's getting rave reviews, and yeah, it's getting rave reviews is all it's trying to say. But it was created by Big Bang Theory writer Tara Hernandez and Lost creator Damon Lindelof. So that's like a really weird pairing there. But the series follows a nun played by Betty Gilpin and her rodeo cowboy ex-boyfriend played by Jake McDorman as they fight a powerful artificial intelligence called Mrs. Davis that seemingly runs the world. Like Mrs. Davis has her fingers in all the things, kind of like Apple in a way, except for with Nicole, who has an Android. But
proud Android user.
But is Mrs. Davis the cure for all of the world's plights, or will she spell the end for humanity? The nun and the cowboy think it's the latter, and the only way of stopping her is finding the Holy Grail for some reason. If you haven't been watching Mrs. Davis, now is the perfect time to jump in and binge the series before this week's finale. If you're looking for a fresh, original sci-fi story with a twist of Indiana Jones and the Da Vinci Code, Mrs. Davis is the perfect show for you. And for what it's worth, it's receiving critical rave reviews, currently 88% fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes. And if you're one of the few people out there who loved the Netflix series Glow, you'll know Betty Gilpin as Liberty Bell on that show, and she was just absolutely incredible. I can't say enough good things about this show. I so appreciate a different kind of like anyone who comes up with fresh sci-fi, because it feels so rare. I love it. And to have this like tinge of humor and also like this religious twist to it, it's really unique. So
yeah, you sold me on Indiana Jones. I mean, I thought it gave Last Crusade vibes.
Right? And Da Vinci Code.
Yeah, it's got all the things. So highly recommend it. Again, the finale drops this Thursday, May 18th. So binge it all and check out all the shows and movies we just talked about by saying what to watch into your voice remote. Next up, we check in with the most dysfunctional TV family since the Lannisters in the newest edition of Hangout. We are less than 2 weeks away from the series finale of HBO Max's hit series Succession, which will air Sunday, May 28th at 9 p.m. Eastern. In anticipation of the Roy family's farewell to television, I sat down with Brian Cox, Jeremy Strong, Sarah Snook, Nicholas Braun, Alan Ruck, and Jay Smith Cameron and asked them to envision a happy ending for their perpetually miserable characters. And here is what they had to say.
Why does everyone ask how I'm feeling? I got done a huge deal. I got the election. I got ATN. I got plenty on my plate.
He's on the floor, Tom.
Explain to me what he's doing.
He's moseying, terrifyingly moseying. It's like if Santa Claus was a hitman.
We were cut out behind our backs. But there's a shape for things for us. We partner up with Sandy and Stewie, with Pierce. Death wrestling ogres.
Excited to get into this knife fight?
Let's blow it up.
I'm not authorized to let you take off.
It's that. You know, in Buddhism, sometimes your greatest tormentor can also be your most perceptive teacher.
Hey, Buddha, nice Tom Fords.
There's a night of the long knives coming. I need a fire breather. Your help with Mats.
You really want me?
I need you.
Mr. Mencken, my most unworthy opponent.
Still clinging to your slice of pie.
At the end of Succession Season 3, we see Logan claim an undisputed victory over his children. Now that the series is coming to a close, what does a happy ending look like for a character who seems incapable of contentment?
Well, what is harmony? You know, a harmonious family, a family that agrees on a singularity of purpose. And sadly, it ain't happening.
I think he'd love to beat Tom. I think he'd love to, like, one day dominate Tom. And we'll see what season 4 yields in the Greg Tom department.
Being the interim CEO for that bunch of maniacs is such a dangerous prospect. I think the only time she's wanted to do it is because she thought, I won't fuck it up. You know, I'll keep them out of prison, or I can make the deal, because she's like the voice of reason, and I think she really respects the letter of the law, and she's very canny about law, and she can really, she can run it well. But I don't think she wants to have the target on her back, you know? I don't think that's ever been what she wanted.
Ideally, it would be to turn this political campaign into something that would impress Logan, and actually make my siblings say, oh, "Wow, that's surprising. I didn't think you could do that." That would be a very happy day for Connor.
Yeah, I mean, the only way is up. I guess the harder you fall, the higher you bounce. But she's a Roy after all, so there's always something in the way. There's always some sort of impediment. What does a happy ending look like for Shiv? I don't know. Is Shiv ever going to be happy with any kind of ending? Even if she does get what she wants, is she going to be happy with that?
That's the question.
Yeah, the central question. Will any of them be happy?
No, I don't think any of them will be happy. Most of all, Logan Roy will not be happy with how this all ends. Do either of you watch it? I have no idea.
I mean, family, right?
Family.
Who needs happiness when you have family?
Very excited. Also very sad to see it go. But I like that. I like when a show knows when to end, and it's like legendary after that, when it knows the perfect time.
Yeah, and it's funny.
And it's funny because go ahead.
No, go ahead, Kayla.
No, I had a story. My husband he loves this show, and we started off together watching it. But I was pregnant when the premiere came on, and then when the son, like he was at the amusement park, and then he got sick in his costume. I wasn't feeling that, and then like old man like peed in the closet. I was like, I can't. So it made me nauseous. So it's funny because now my brain is like, I can't watch it. It's like all those old feelings come back up. I'm like, oh my God, like, morning sickness. I was like, oh God, I can't do this. So but I do want to see it. But my brain is like taking me back to pregnancy when I.
Yeah, you've tied it specifically to those like memories.
It's so funny. It's crazy. But my husband, like, a huge fan.
Yeah. Well, it's it is it's not for everyone. I think a lot of people really struggle with the fact that pretty much every character is unlikable. I mean, you really have to go in knowing that there are moments of there are redemptive moments here or there, things where you find a character who does something who you're like, okay, like they did the right thing, or maybe they're not such a terrible person, but it is always short-lived. They always do something then to be really terrible. But this last season has been incredible. It was almost like 2 seasons. There is episodes 1, 2, and 3, and then everything that's happened since episode 3.
Wow.
So I'm really excited to see how it ends. And Nicole, like you said, I don't think it could go out a better way. But we'll see. With the last episode, we've certainly seen that things can be going well. Game of Thrones, right up until the very last episode. And then we get a curveball.
Right.
All right. So that's that. Check out my full interview with the cast of Succession. And you can catch up with latest episodes of Xfinity Hangouts simply by saying Hangouts into your voice remote. Next up, we try our hands at fantasy basketball in this week's edition of Sports. The WNBA tips off its 2023 regular season this Friday, May 19th, with 4 big games, including the defending Eastern Conference champion Connecticut Sun versus the Indiana Fever, the New York Liberty versus the Washington Mystics, the Chicago Sky versus the Minnesota Lynx, and the Phoenix Mercury versus the Los Angeles Sparks, which you can watch live on ESPN and ESPN Plus at 11 p.m. Eastern that night. Last month, the NCAA women's basketball final between Angel Reese's LSU Tigers and Caitlin Clark's Iowa Hawkeyes set a ratings record with 9.92 million viewers, making it the most watched women's college basketball game of all time. And that bodes really well for the WNBA, which also saw considerable viewership growth in 2022. The WNBA currently includes 12 teams from coast to coast, but as the league's popularity increases, so do the chances of expansion. So today, each one of us has secretly created a proposed expansion team for the WNBA to help boost the organization's reach and interest across the country. And we will start with Kayla. Kayla, tell us about your team.
I'm so excited about my team, guys. Okay, so ready? Drum roll. The Miami Hummingbirds. That is my WNBA team, okay? Listen here. Do not underestimate a hummingbird, okay? I was researching, okay, because I'm a nerd and I researched this. But the most intriguing fact I found is that they can travel 500 miles in a single go. They could just go and fly for 500 miles. So what better skill to have as an athlete to go back and forth down that court, 500 miles, no one's stopping them, okay? So do not underestimate hummingbirds, okay? They're very, very talented birds. And my coach for this team is none other than Miss Lovin' Basketball herself, Sanaa Lathan. Who else could be more qualified, for this coaching job? I think she'd really bring that team all the way to the top.
I love that. I would have never thought of hummingbirds, but there's even something about Miami hummingbirds that is very visually pleasing too. The name just looks good. Are hummingbirds? I honestly had no idea. Are there hummingbirds in Miami? Are there?
No, no, they are not. I feel like they are not even in the States at all. They are the national bird of Jamaica. So there are plenty of them out there. But yeah, if they wanted to, they could fly here.
That's true.
They could fly 500 miles.
In one clip.
Right. It's just crazy how far they can fly. Like, you don't want to rest. My goodness. But
yeah, that's good. Miami should have another. They already got the Heat, and now they'll have the hummingbirds.
Heat
and the hummingbirds.
Come on,
that works.
Love it.
Nicole, tell us about
Miami. Get it together.
The expansion team.
So, Kayla, you did the right thing. You went by skill set. I did not. In honor of the traveling robot, I dedicate my team to the Hitchbot. And I don't know if you guys remember,
Oh my
but a couple
God.
years ago, there was this robot. He was traveling all through the country, made a quick stop in Philly and did not make it out. Philadelphians did not like him. So my team is called Droid Destroyers. And honestly, this is a memorial for him. But I want people to remember it because I would love this to be an It's Always Sunny episode one day. Just the fact that Philadelphia is responsible for this is just.
Yeah, if I recall correctly, it was like a social media thing where where the bot was riding with people and they were filming it on social, and then they'd leave it, or it would transfer over to another person, and it was supposed to, I think, take like a cross-country trip, but never made it out of Philly and got destroyed and was just left on the side of the road somewhere.
Yes. So we can rebuild him. We'll make him better, and he will be the mascot for this new team.
That's hilarious. Who left him on the side of the road?
I'd love to find a group of basketball players who want to play for the Droid Destroyers. Does the Droid mascot get re-destroyed during games? I mean, there's a lot you can do with that.
I think it's more of a vengeance thing. He is destroying the other team.
Oh, it's the revenge basically.
Yeah,
for
he's
what...
gonna be like a Terminator in a sense. And he's gonna go for blood.
I mean, what else do you want from the basketball team? That is a very, very good one too. Two really strong ones. Kayla, I also did a lot of research for mine, and when I looked when I looked at the WNBA teams across the country, I couldn't help but notice a massive void across the Midwest. From Utah to Missouri, from Colorado, I don't know why I said it like that, from Colorado to Montana, there is not a single WNBA team for our friends in the flyover states to root for. So I created one. I present to you the Cheyenne Wild.
Ooh.
Yeah. So the Cheyenne Wild, hailing from the capital city of the great state of Wyoming, the Cheyenne Wild pay homage to the city's legendary Frontier Days event, which is known as the largest outdoor rodeo and Western festival in the world and runs for 10 days every July since 1897. Cheyenne has several sports venues, but no professional teams to speak of, which some might say is proof that the market can't sustain a professional team. I say, based on absolutely no proof or research, that's complete nonsense. The good people of Cheyenne and the state of Wyoming at large deserve a team they can root for, and I believe that the Cheyenne Wild is that team. And what is this team's mascot, you ask? Her name is Mustang Sally, and like her ancestors who have competed in Frontier Days for more than 100 years, she loves competition and she loves to entertain. WNBA, what are you waiting for? The Cheyenne Wild are ready to ride straight to the championship.
I'm ready. Let's do it. You know, if any of these teams actually happen, we need a cut, guys.
I didn't even think about
there need
like a coach or owner, but I feel like like it's something that like Harrison Ford would I'm figuring it out on the fly. Kevin Costner obviously has to own the Cheyenne Wild.
Perfect. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
perfect casting. Yeah.
Yep.
He would probably coach too. He'd be an owner coach.
Horse wrangler. Yeah.
Horse wrangler. He would probably
horse wrangler.
He would serve multiple purposes, but yeah, I think that works. Who would own or coach the Droid Destroyers?
I don't know.
Someone from Philly would have to.
Someone from
right?
Philly.
What was that?
Someone from Philly would have to.
Yes. So what about? I mean, we could do Mac from It's Always Sunny. He is from Philly. Rob McClanahy.
That sounds about right. I feel like it needs to be someone a little more chaotic.
I mean, Charlie Day.
Meek Mill?
Unfortunately.
Yeah. You know, I love that. Let Meek Mill coach that team.
Let's do it.
I love it. So you can check out the upcoming WNBA games and highlights, or follow your favorite team for live game alerts just by saying WNBA into your voice remote. That was a lot of fun. It was even better than I thought it was going to be. And that will do it for today's show. Thank you to my fellow Xfinity editors, Nicole and Kayla, for joining me this week. Special thank you to the cast of Succession for hanging out with us. The series finale of Succession airs Sunday, May 28th at 9 p.m. Eastern. Shout out to our producers, Brad, Dan, Josh, Adela, and everyone else behind the scenes making the show tick. If you want to check out the TV shows and movies that we talked about today, get more of our entertainment recommendations, or watch us interview big celebrities, just say what to watch into your voice remote, or tune in here every Monday, 4 p.m. Eastern for a new episode. You can also watch us on Xumo Play on the Xfinity What to Watch channel. My name is David. Thank you for joining us on What to Watch Live.